How can we convey emotion to our readers without saying what emotions we want them to feel? Hi, I'm Jed Herne, author of Fires of the Dead, and this is Daily Writing Advice. So, in The Emotional Craft of Fiction by Donald Mast, which is a fantastic writing advice book, he discusses this idea that I mentioned in the introduction. How can we create a certain emotion in our readers without blatantly and obviously shoving it down their throats by saying the emotion? Well, for starters, I would recommend that you read the book because it is an amazing resource. It goes into it in way more depth than I will in this episode. But one specific tactic that I got from the book, which is very interesting to think about, is this idea of using your own experience to generate and transfer emotion to readers. So ultimately, creating emotion in readers is all about this concept of information transfer, of taking something that is in your mind, then using the medium of the pages in your book to make readers experience the same thing. So one of the things that Donald Mast recommends in The Emotional Craft of Fiction is essentially next time that you want to create some sort of emotional experience in a scene in your book, first of all, ask yourself, what is the emotion that I'm creating? So let's say I'm trying to create this emotion of anger. So I want readers to feel angry for how the character is being treated in this situation. So rather than just saying, John was angry, which, maybe could be a pass sometimes, but I think we can both agree we can do a lot better. Instead of saying that, think about times when you have been angry. Think about a specific time when you have been angry. Maybe someone cut across you in traffic and you grip the steering wheel really tight, your knuckles widened and you thought, I'm going to kill that guy. That guy's an absolute arsehole. How dare he cut across me in traffic or whatever. And perfect. You're in the mindset of that. And perhaps you thought about something which is a lot worse than someone cutting across you in traffic. But the point being is, now that you have relived that experience where you were going through that emotion, think about the physical signs, both externally and internally, that were manifesting as a result of that emotion. So maybe your heart rate spiked. Maybe your knuckles widened on the wheel, as I mentioned. Maybe you had thoughts that you wanted to kill the person who'd angered you. Maybe your eyes had narrowed to slits. Think about their responses both on a physiological level, so what's actually physically happening with your body, and on a verbal level, an exterior level, like how it made you change your posture. Did you hunch over? Did you get really big? What was the actual physical representation of that? And likewise, think about what things you noticed. So if you were really angry with this driver who cut across you in traffic, what did you notice? In most instances, you would probably notice what kind of car it is. And maybe you would make a judgment in that instant that, everyone who drives insert model of this car is a bad driver. Or everyone who drives red cars is a sucky driver, or whatever. These are details, specific setting descriptions that you only notice because you're experiencing this emotion. So now that we have all of that baggage nicely encapsulated, it's time to transfer it into your story. So how you do this is think about the things that you noticed as a result of experiencing these emotions, and then have your character notice it in the story. So say you felt very joyful to be alive in this one specific instance, and you want to have this character in your book experiencing this same joy. What were the details you were noticing in that moment of joy? It was probably things like, maybe you were walking outside and there's birdsong, the sky seemed really vibrant, the colors of the world seemed super saturated, everyone you passed seemed to have a smile on their face, and you were walking with a lot of energy and it felt like you were bouncing on the soles of your feet. Those are all details that you're noticing as a result of the emotional process going on inside your mind. So if you can describe those details, pick out the things that are specific to you as a result of experiencing this emotion, and then put it into your book, chances are that readers will pick up on all these little specific details, and they will subtly realize, without you having to cram anything down their throat, what emotion the character is feeling in this situation. Because chances are, we're not that different as humans, and if you experience a certain set of physiological responses in relation to experiencing certain emotions, other people probably have the same thing. And if you do this well enough, you'll get this amazing, magical moment where your readers look at what's on the page, look at the specific things that are being described there, and they will think, you see me. You understand what happens to me when I experience this kind of emotion. You have gone through the same lived experiences as me. And obviously it won't be the exact same because, everyone is a bit different, but that's the essence of how to create emotion in readers. So, that's our episode. Now go and write extraordinary, emotional stories. I'll see you next time.